Power.
All righty, we'll go ahead and get started. Small group today. We'll get nice and intimate with everyone. So, yeah. All righty, so first we want to show everyone the social media channels. So make sure you are subscribing to that. That's where everything gets posted. And we try and post that there first. It's the easiest, most convenient. We know people like text messages. We know they like the emails as well, but the social media is where everything goes first. Sam has also been doing an awesome job of posting and promoting The Office. So if you have something that you want shared or would like posted on our stories, anything like that, make sure you're tagging and she will share that. So have you guys been watching that? You like it? Good, better? All right, cool. Our sponsors, we have America's Preferred Home Warranty. Brian's up there, but we don't think Brian is with the company any longer.
He is not.
Yeah.
I met their new sales rep.
Okay. New or interim?
Did not specify.
Yeah. So I usually have an interim kid from Cincinnati, really nice kid. I cannot think of his name. I call him the cow. He's
Cameron, isn't his name?
I call him the cowabunga dude. I don't know. He's like surfer type dude. Yeah. Yeah. He's really nice though. So he'll make sure we're taken care of in the intermediate. So then we have Mark James and Rapid Mortgage. We have Melissa with Northwest. She's not back there. Usually she pops in. And then Chris with Wild Video. So thank you to all of them. And then our awesome ALC this year, we have Tom Coe, Mary Sunderman, Taylor Colin, Lisa Gibbs, John Kohlhepp, Bill Benninghoffen, and Denise Fate. So a big round of applause for them. They've been doing an awesome job. And then our draft standings. So we have Kohlhepp's team in first place at 156. Denise Fate's team at 139. Bill's team at 128. Taylor at 103. And then the bottom three teams haven't broke 100 yet. So
What have they been doing?
just saying.
Yes.
And then we have bold coming up. So we have a special guest today. Scott, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
So Scott's awesome. He's also hilarious. So I'm sure we'll have a giggle here in the next 5 minutes too. So Scott, I'll let you take it away.
Awesome. Hey, number one, I'm going to give some congrats to the ALC members. I love how you guys have started off the team meeting. I love the social media being first. Amazing job, by the way, just to let you know. I'm on a lot of team meetings, and the way you started it is just very cool, very tech savvy. So, hey, thank you for the time. I'm going to be quick, and I want to add value, okay? So I just want us to do a couple of things, number one. And it's kind of hard. I can't see a bunch of you, and yet I'm going to see at least if you have your chat box, I can hear you too. How many of you have taken bold before or at least know how to say bold? Oh, I can see you now. That's awesome. So how many of you have taken bold before? Just yell yes.
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 Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love that energy. Yes, that's perfect. I love that. So let me ask you a quick question. How many of you are signed up for bold right now? Just say yes.
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 Okay, so a lot less than people that have taken bold. Would you agree with me?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Y'all got the yes part down. That's awesome. So what I want to do is add value. And then, of course, I'm going to ask you to take an action. I just want to be completely upfront about that. I'm not here to sell bold. Bold is not for everybody. I get that. So don't mistake my passion that you're about to hear and see for sales, because it's truly not. It's a passion for your greatness in this bold experience for Columbus, which I believe personally is going to be the best bold in the country. So that's what my passion is for this, is for you. So I want to start off with a formula. So how many of you, just by quickly raise your hand or say yes out loud, how many of you would like to do financially better in your business, financially better with your wealth, maybe better in your relationships or your health in 2022? than you did in 2021? Just say yes or raise your hand.
Yes.
Awesome. So that's everybody. Would you agree? Like, did anybody say, you know what? Nope, I want to do worse. I want to make less money. I want to have worse relationships, and I hope I put on weight this year. That's nobody's goal, right? So I want you to write this formula down because it's super simple and it'll lead us to everything that we're going to talk about over the next 6 hours. And I'm kidding. It's about 4 more minutes. So I want you to write down mindset plus action equals outcome. Mindset plus action equals outcome. And what I want us to understand is that why this is such a valuable formula, it is the only thing that you control. You have 100% control of the way that you think, and you have 100% control of the actions that you take. So it doesn't matter what the market's doing. It doesn't matter what your neighbor's doing. It doesn't matter what anything else is happening. You're 100% in control of the way that you think and the actions that you choose to take. So if we know that we're in 100% control of that, then the outcome we have what? 100% control of, yes?
Yes.
Say yes.
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 Perfect. I love that. Even in a shifting market, do we still control our outcome based on our mindset and our actions? And the answer is yes. So if we know that we want to have a different outcome, and we've all said yes to that, we choose to have a different outcome, then we know that we're going to have to change our thinking or our action. And usually we have to change both. Now, here's why I bring this up. The reason why Bold works is Bold is not a secret pill. Y'all have taken Bold before. Like, there's not an injection or a pill that you get that makes you do things that you wouldn't normally do. What it does do, though, and the reason why it's been around since 2009 and will continue to be around for years and years and years, is it works on that formula. It works on your thinking and your action. And the reason why Bold is transformational is if we can change our habitual thinking and we change our habitual actions, we change our outcome. I'll give you a great example. I want you to go back 5 years. 5 years ago, it was 2017. Is that right? What's Ohio math? Is that right in Ohio? Because I'm in Kentucky and we might not have math down as good as you guys yet. So if you think back, though, I want you to go back and remember where you were. Where was your mindset and your action 7 years ago, and where was your outcome? And has it changed over those 5 years? And I'm sure, like, real quickly, just say yes if you are financially better off now than you were 5 years ago.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. I love that. Now, how much of that was purposeful compared to market? And I bring this up because the next 5 years is going to be, the outcome is going to be based on the choices that we make today. Okay? On the way that we think and the actions that we take. I'll just tell you real quickly how this has impacted me. Just this one simple formula, which Bold really does mimic, be, do, achieve, right? So in 2005, I got my real estate license. I moved from South Alabama to South Texas. Our goal was to make $100,000. We had a 9-month-old baby, and my wife got pregnant with our second. I was a part of that. But she did not work outside the home. She didn't work outside the home. So I had a high motivation, okay, which was to feed my family and pay our mortgage in a new place. So $100,000 is all I could see, and that was a great life. I'm just being completely transparent. Go 2014. 9 years later, our goal was to net $100,000 a month passively. Now, it's not about the money or me. It's about the person that we get to become. Now, is that a big difference between, hey, my goal is to make $100,000 and 9 years later say my goal is to net $100,000 a month? Do you think you have to have a different mindset and a different action, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we move forward to 2022, and our goals are so much bigger than we could ever even imagine. But I want us to understand, though, that it starts with that simple formula. In most people, do you know the number one reason why people won't, that make the choice not to put themselves in a class like Bold, which is proven to have the results. It's proven to help shift your thinking. It's proven to help shift your actions. Over 250,000 agents have gone through it, and the average agent, does 11 transactions over an 8-week period. Do you know the number one reason why people don't register for Bold? It's not a belief in the product. It's a belief in themselves. It's a belief in themselves. They say, hey, I don't have the money. I don't have the time. It didn't work the last time I took it. I don't know if I want the accountability. And yet every single cell inside of your body is screaming to be a success. I mean, look around the room. I want you to look and see if there's anybody in that room that got the real estate license not to sell real estate, like to be broke. Did anybody get their license and go, oh my God, I hope I end up broke doing this. Hope I end up average. And the answer is no. And to me, that's what a Bold allows us to do. So my challenge for you, and it's not even around Bold. I want you to register for Bold if you want to have a different outcome, okay? But I want you to take what we're talking about today, and I want you to think different from this moment forward. And I want you to take a different action so that you change your outcome. I was watching this video earlier, and it was really powerful. It says that the time to jump is when you don't think that you should, when you're a little bit nervous. And to me, Gary Keller said that this Bold will be the most important Bold that Keller Williams has ever launched. Because, guys, we get to be in front of a shifting market. Bold was written due to a shift in the market in 2008 and 2007. So it came after the shift. Now we get to work on our thinking and our habits before the shift is actually here. And I know it's already started, and yet that's why this might be the most important Bold. So did you get any value out of that? Just tell me one thing you took away, and can I answer any questions before I jump? I want to respect your time. I know I talk a lot. I'm going to make something up, Columbus.
No
A lot of
questions?
people, yeah.
Well, and Scott doesn't know yet. We haven't promoted it yet, but how many remember when we did the reverse Bold in the spring as an office?
that's
Everyone
fun.
like that?
Yep.
So we're going to do that again at the end of Bold. If you're in Bold, you don't have to pay for that. So that's going to be a perk of being part of Bold. So that's also going to be another option and perk of being in class with this wonderful man up here. So.
And I know what you're thinking. You're going, well, is it just a pretty face? Are they just putting eye candy up for us? And that shouldn't be that funny, number one. Number two, though, is no, we're going to bring value. And guys, here's what I love about Bold. We're going to have fun, but we're going to hold the accountability, and not people accountable or standard. And we're going to get into action. So we're going to have fun. You're going to increase your business. You're going to make more money. And I can, that I know. So I love your leadership. You guys are leading Columbus right now, and you always do. So, make the choice. Josh and these guys are fighting for your greatness. Your little voice in our heads fight for our comfort. So be real careful who you're cheering for. Does that make sense? All right. Did y'all get value out of this? Lie to me. Say yes.
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 Awesome. Guys, help get yourself registered. If you're not going to register for Bold, show up on the first day. Come get value out of it. Get business from it. And let's see if this is the right thing for you in your business. I really do appreciate the time. And I want you to have a phenomenal Thursday. Reach out to me if you have any questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott.
Hey, thank you, guys. Bye. See you in a week. Let's go, Columbus.
Told you it's funny. All righty. Any questions about Bold? Sign up for Bold. The first day is free, so you can go see if it's for you and then sign up afterwards if you choose to do it that way too. So just so everyone knows. Next slide. We had fun last night. We had our new agent happy hour last night. Some of you guys in the room enjoyed. Did you enjoy it, Joe?
Yeah, it's great.
So Brandon was there. Did you have fun? So
Definitely.
yeah, I enjoyed it. We had to keep Lori in line. She got a little. All right, our new agents. We have Juliana Ali, Sonal Seth, Brandon Harmon, Alyssa Kelly, and Zoe Calkins. So big round of applause for all. make sure when you see them in the market center that you're greeting them and making them feel welcome. So I know all of you will. And then we have our mega agent mastermind event. How many have seen the marketing for this and signed up? All right, so they opened up, there's 75 tickets left. So if you haven't heard Jim and Linda McKissick talk, they're awesome, but we also have our very own Suzanne Casey on the panel, and that panel is about surviving through a shift. We all know that the shift is coming, if it's not already here yet. So that's what that panel is going to be about. It's what, $50 a ticket?
Yeah.
So $50, it's all day long. Lunch will be provided too, so.
And
Go
it's
ahead.
not very common for Mo Anderson to stray away from Texas, so it's a huge value add. If you don't know who she is our culture ambassador. She used to be the CEO of Keller Williams, so she has a lot of knowledge, a lot of value. We have Red Day because of her, so she is definitely worth going to for, as well as all the other agents on the panel, and Jim and Linda McKissick, who have part of our regional leadership. They have a wealth of knowledge on wealth building. So if that is something you're interested in, you definitely don't want to miss that.
And that's at the zoo too, so it's
Yeah.
here locally. It's not in Indianapolis or Dayton or anything like that, so. Why do you take this?
Yeah, on Monday, the lovely Jackie Murphy, she does all things great designs and marketing and stuff for Re-Equity Group. She is going to be doing a social media class on growing your business on Instagram on Monday here in the office at, is it 10? Yeah, so register at the front desk. If you forget to register, still come, we'll still let you in. On August 17th, we will be having our anniversary party. This is the 20th year in business at Keller Williams Capital Partners. Again, if you don't know, we were the first KW office in Ohio. We were the first KW office in the region. So this is a huge, huge, huge celebration. Just to thank all of you for making this happen and continuing to keep us all in business. So come with a party with us. There was a special invitation that went out via email, likely your KW email or whatever we typically use to communicate with you at the office. If you can RSVP, please. And there is a question in there on choosing your entree. We're doing chicken breast, salmon, or there's a vegetarian and vegan option of acorn squash. So just let me know what you want. That way we can have the proper food count for you, and it'll be beautiful. So that will be on the 17th. So make sure you are RSVPing for that.
Yeah. And that's at North Bank Park. So super nice venue. You'll be able to take photos in front of the skyline. So we want to make sure that it's nice to celebrate not only you guys, but the investors who started the market center too.
We're gonna do a shuttle from here, right?
Yeah, we will
Yeah.
have a shuttle bus from here because there is parking available in the parking garage, but it's a couple blocks from the venue, and I would assume it's going to be pretty hot that day. So we will have a shuttle bus from here at the office taking people down. So just make sure if that's what you want to do, that you're here at the ample time, and we'll get those details out to you within the next week or so. Last call for this. This was my bad. I did not get it out. I'm assuming everybody got this via email, but the region kind of broke off and did their sub campaign of this. So Founders Day is, I think technically today, because I think today is Gary Keller's birthday. So in kind of honor of him, KW wants to donate $650,000 to KW Kids Can because Gary's turning 65. So we, as a region, decided to break off our little campaign. Same money goes directly to them, but it's just a sub campaign of this one. And the goal is, I believe, 25,000, and the McKissicks have already donated like 50% of that, Jim and Linda. So that cuts off tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So if you donate, that would be great. If you don't know what KW Kids Can is, it is a foundation. It is a 501(c)(3), so it is a tax write-off that goes towards helping young adults 18 to 26, I believe is the cutoff, get into business, have a successful business, really get them in that right mindset to help them grow. So This is something that was started and we would love if you are able to donate.
And then we have business coaching with Mary. So how many are utilizing business coaching with Mary? Bree, do you love it?
I do.
Who else raised their hand back there? Somebody did. P Flo, do you like it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anytime I've ever talked to Mary, I feel smarter afterwards. So, Mary, do you have any updates?
You're very kind, thank you. I just welcome everybody. We're spending a lot of time in shift kind of is directing the topics. I'm arming people with tools that maybe haven't been readily available or that you've not known about. I spend a lot of time on researching what's happening in the industry. So we're kind of learning through the best. I'm just kind of repeating it. It's not original typically. I encourage you to come, we're here to support and to help this market center be the best that we can possibly be. And we know we're all better together.
And she's there for you. You don't pay extra on your commission. You don't do anything like that. So we love having her here in the market center and that she's willing to do that for us. So big round of applause to her. All right, and then our Airtable. So through the shifting market, this is not as important as it was in the springtime, but it's still there and you can still utilize it. So we want to make sure that everyone knows that it's still there and available. Any table? Does everyone understand how it works still? So, cool. And then equality versus equity. So we want to make sure that we're keep presenting this. So it's not just skin color, disabilities. We know everything that's going on with women's rights right now. Just be a good human being, right? That's the big thing. Make sure everyone has an equal chance and that you're helping them anytime that you can. So we want to make sure that's important to us. So our luxury. So right now it's 5 transactions in the past 2 years over 500,000. We just talked with the ALC last week. That's going to be increasing here very soon. So if you are close to that, make sure you let us know and we'll get you in. Once you're in for 2 years and then you get reevaluated. We cannot track that for you. So if you think you're close, let us know and then we can look it up. Any questions on luxury? All right. We have about what, 30 some agents at 40. So
Carol Shearer made us number 40.
there we go. And then our Raven Award. So everyone who's new, so we don't do it every month. But when we do, it is for somebody who's going above and beyond for the market center, not just here in the market center, but outside the market center as well. We chose the Raven Award because when a raven finds food, it calls out to all birds, not just other ravens. So this month, I think this is our first person who's won it 2 times now. So Stephanie Sellers. So around the holidays, Stephanie adopted a family, Afghanistan family, yeah. But now just last month, she also did a big clothing drive too. So she is somebody who's going above and beyond constantly. If you can help her with anything, I guarantee if you go ask her, she needs help with something because she's always out in the community doing something. So I don't know if you're on, Stephanie, but good job. Thank you.
Just a little update on the family. If I know we did a lot of donations and stuff for them. They are expecting a baby. They didn't realize that she was pregnant when they moved here to the US. So they will have another baby due very soon.
Exciting.
They have a home and he has employment and
Yeah.
things are really good for them right now. So, yeah.
It's amazing the change you can do, the little things in somebody's life. So. All righty, our VIP parking. This month, we're doing all of the instructors who taught Ignite last round. So we'll see who wins the spot. He's on.
He's on Zoom.
All right, Bill, anytime you want to let me borrow it, I'll take it. then we have our Better Together. So we're going to keep continuing to talk about this. So as a market center, we want to make sure that we're all including everyone. So we have, how many have seen the new wall on this side of the wall with all the new transactions? So after the office meeting, if you haven't seen it, go over there. So it's all, we didn't want to just celebrate the cappers. They're important to us too, but so are the new agents. So their first transaction, they now get up on the wall by Carol's office too. And that's going to stay up on that wall forever. So it's including everyone in the office. If we work as an office, we're all better together. So that's where that comes from. Our KW communities, we want to make sure you guys know what's going on with them. If you have questions about how to get into one of them, let us know. If you have an interest, let us know. We'll make sure that you're getting into it. Some of them have certain qualifications, like the luxury we just talked about, sports and entertainment. I think it's 50,000 GCI the year before. But some of them are free and you can join those specific communities. So
There is a new one as well that's KW Wealth. So all about wealth building. So that will be something new to look into. And they have a convention going on right now in Austin for that. So look out for that stuff too, if that's something that interests you. All right. So Miss Samantha has a well overdue vacation going on right now. So that's why you don't get to see her pretty face, but other than on the screen. So she's been killing it lately with our marketing portion of the market center now. So she, just so you're aware, she is doing custom logo creation. She can, she's been killing it with doing custom social media, literally creating posts custom to you, what you want, your aesthetic. She will help you create your brand and your aesthetic. If you don't even know or are not sure what you want, or if you're looking for a change, reach out to her. And because she's not here, I'm going to flaunt on her a little bit more. So these are some things that she has made. Sarah Miller's in the back to attest the greatness, but all the stuff on the right is custom made based on what the agent wanted, and kind of what that she took away from their likes and stuff like that. And then that open house flyer is just a template that she made. So if you are not ready for a full brand overload and you just want something easy, plug and play, that's a little bit more of a step up than designs, but you don't have time or patience to do it, she will gladly do that for you. So just reach out to her. marketing@capitalpartners274.com is her email address, or you can find her in the office. She'll be back on Monday. So she's been doing awesome with these, and she's just been amazing. So utilize her. She's really good at what she does.
have you guys enjoyed everything with Sam that she's been doing? So, good.
Is this me too? Yeah. Mega Agent Camp or Mega Camp is the 23rd and 24th in Austin. They also are still doing the digital version. So it's going to be a lot of Gary Keller, a lot of good panels. So definitely make sure you check that out. They are doing it a little bit different this year. There aren't a bunch of different breakout sessions. They are pretty driven, separate blocks that everyone can attend. So definitely get your ticket. I believe they cut off hotel booking next week. So make sure if you're going in person that you've gotten your flight tickets and you've gotten your hotel booked. You can get that once there's a link once you register for that. So if you can't go all the way to Austin and you don't want to melt, I understand. Still do the digital version.
And we have a couple hotel rooms left, I think, so in our block, but
Oh.
Joanne has to release those very, very soon.
You register at events.kw.com, FYI. And then the next day, if you want to stay an extra day or fly out to Austin just for this, there is a land summit in Austin on the 25th. So that's something new and different that go with the KW land community. So definitely check that out if that's something that interests you. I don't know if they're doing a digital version of that though. In October, you can head to Boston and do the fall mastermind. So I would imagine that this will be very shift focused as well. But you can get great value out of these. It's definitely more of a mastermind type thing than the typical family reunion or mega camp. So a little bit different vibe than the other events.
all of our agents who went to the spring masterminds loved it. Michelle, you were there, right? So I enjoyed it. It's super cool where you go into a room on a category or a topic that you want to learn more about. And there's other agents where, you know, for me, it was all TLs in the room. And you just mastermind and work through different things and topics, which I thought that's where I learn the best. When I hear what somebody else is doing, and I can pick up, take something and bring it back here. So if you can go to the fall masterminds, I highly recommend it. Our June cappers. So we have Andy Buss. Good job, Andy. See hiding back there? No. He just had a big closing too, didn't he? What he just closed? How big was that?
2.77.
So good job, Taylor.
So,
If you're not here, don't forget to come get your awesome umbrellas.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, guys. All right, let's talk about this. How many of you have already met with me? I know the newer agents. Forrest, I know you have. Brandon, Joe, and so many. Was it helpful to you? I hope those sessions. I'm here on salary and committed to you guys, new season, whatever. If you want to book some time on my calendar, I'd like to meet with you either in person, especially in person, or virtually if you can't make it, if you've got something else going on. But it's so much better if we can meet in person. If you can get on my calendar and you want to schedule regular time once a week, you can go to Calendly, to my Calendly, and it's calendly.com/Carol Summer. Go ahead and book your time, 30-minute increments, 60 if you need it. We'll talk about you specifically, your needs, your growth, your goals, what you see, and have set your sights for down the road. But I can personalize this to you. I mean, everybody's different, how they want to grow their individual businesses. But I'm there for you, so use me. They pay my salary, so you don't have to. So please go ahead and book your time with me. Next thing I want to talk about is the RE Kickstart. This is not just for new agents. This is for new and seasoned agents. It's a 3-hour CE if you need CE with an elective. Please sign up for the class next Thursday. It'll include lunch, starts at 11:30. You get 3 hours of CE. And I will tell you, I've gotten comments from all over the city, all over the state actually, on the value of this class. So I would appreciate if you would chop and register. Team leaders, if you'll register your folks and have them come in for this session, I think they'll really get a lot out of it. It's fun and it's informative. So, and it's also interactive. So please go ahead and sign up for that.
She was instructor of the year for that too, by the way.
I was. And your team, I think they get 5 points, whoever attends
Yeah.
it gets individually 5 points. So if you want to crank up your team score, get on this, get
And
out
Joe
there.
Jackson's going for the lead. He asks me every day.
I mean, it's
So
an easy 5 points,
he's going for
guys.
those
So,
points.
you gotta have it again.
all right, we'll have a lot of fun, but you'll learn something too, I promise. Who remembers their first deal? We all do. You'll never forget it. And so I want to recognize the people that have made the effort to already within their first year to get their first deal on the books. And I didn't know, but I'm one of them. I guess I just saw the first slide.
First one
with us.
First one with us, yeah.
Remember how to get out and do it. A buyer, old friend, finally got on her own. She was divorced and asked me if I would help her buy a house. And I said I would be privileged to do so. And I was privileged to do so. So it's always piques your heart when you get to help somebody do that. So let's see who else. Dalton Hammond. Is Dalton here? I don't think he's here either virtually. Joshua
Seaman.
Josh Seaman?
Yep.
Come by and look at that wall. It is so exciting to see everybody's picture up there. Matt Susie. Natalie Histak. Is Natalie here? It's here.
Renee.
All right.
Virtual.
Renee. everybody. Congratulations, everybody. Come visit our wall. Thanks for
Yep,
doing
they're
that.
up. Good job. Alrighty, then our home run agents. So Mahler had 7 listings he took. Rachel Alley, 12 contracts written, and Eric Hiss closed 10 deals in June. So good job to all of them.
Ali wrote 12 contracts and then had a baby.
Yeah,
That's right.
so it can be
Give
done,
her
yeah.
spare time. Yeah.
All right, our top individual agents. So number 5, Doug Thorley. 120. Number 4 was Jeff at 129. Number 3 was Regan at 2 million. Number 2 was Denise Fate at 2.2. And number 1 was Janet Pullen Reese at 2. New peeps up there, I love it. Our top teams. So number 3, Mullen Hawkins, just under 3 million. Number 2, The Mood Group at 3.4. And number 1, Suzanne Casey and Associates at 4.8. All right, our top groups, and some of these numbers are just insane. So number 5, Millennium at 3.5 million. Number 4 was Labuda at 3.8. Number 3, Columbus Team at 4.7. Equities up there at 2 at 5.8. And then number 1, the Jackson Team at 10 million. So, good job, everyone.
All right. I'm still providing those tech trainings to you. A little more trying to do business growth, value add than just here's tech. So every other Monday, unless a holiday falls in, at 3 o'clock, have been doing them just via Zoom. If you don't know, I'm now over 4 market centers, so doing it via Zoom is a little bit easier. So on Monday, we're going to do Stump the RTT. Our regional tech director, Josh Boatman, is going to gracefully, hopefully get stumped by one of you. Come and ask him all your tech questions, anything and everything you can. If nothing else, he's got good dad jokes, so. And then on the 8th, so when Josh, Brian, and I went to Mega Leadership Camp, was that in April? I feel like that was forever ago. I learned a little nugget that I wanted to take back immediately was teaching how to utilize the systems you have and integrate them in the 4 models in the MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, that Gary so graciously wrote or helped write. So one of those is turning your database into data bank. That's the lead gen model. So we're going to really take a deep dive into that. And just to let you know kind of what that entails is I try to take a little nugget from everything as far as Ignite, as far as all the KW University classes, you know, the 6 personal perspectives. I've tried to take a little bit of everything and put it together so it's such a huge value and really focuses on the mindset piece of it and the physical technology that you're using right now and how to make it make sense together. So that will be on the 8th, I believe. And then on the 22nd of August, we're going to do Mastering Your Social Media, a little bit different spin than what Jackie's going to provide for you. Just because marketing right now is important with that shift. You aren't just throwing listings and they're getting taken the second they go on the market. So having that strong marketing game is really going to help. And then in September, we'll do the 3 quickest hacks for database cleanup. I feel like that's the bane of everybody's existence is their database. And if it's clean and accurate, that's going to really help you utilize your automated systems for reaching your database and touching on them continually, because again, that is important with everything going on right now. So those will all be via Zoom, 3 p.m. on Mondays on those dates. They'll be on the calendar. So make sure you are attending those. You do get points for those as well.
And let's give it up for her too. How awesome is she? talking about tech, she was tech trainer of the year out of 28 market centers. So to give you an idea, it's a very big honor. She was the very first one ever. So we are lucky to have her in our building. So thank you.
Something that happened literally yesterday, and I was so excited. I wanted to share with you guys. So you can now send that request if you're using Earnest. We have Earnest now. It's digital Earnest money to us, not back to the client, unfortunately. But so we are signed up. If you are already registered, if you are not registered with it, that's fine. But now when you create buyer opportunities and the details, you can send that request to your buyer from the opportunity. So you're gonna see down here, kind of just give you a little snippet. I think the front porch or porch thing is right below this, but you can send that, you click that button, it's gonna pop up giving you, make sure you've registered, yada, yada, yada. But that request process can now be done through command. So you can do it through the app still, but now you can do it through command as well. And it will obviously only show up on the buyer opportunities. Doesn't matter what phase or stage it's in, it will show up there in the details the moment that you create that opportunity. So I was excited for that.
Who's used it so far? Like it? Good feedback? If you experience something throughout the process, let us know so we know how to make it better too, because we're not using it, you guys are. So we don't know if there's glitches or something we could do better. We want to know that. So.
Also, make sure you're checking out our training calendar. It does update as we release new classes and stuff like that and events. That is emailed to you every Monday and Friday from the front desk, either in that weekly snapshot email or in the newsletter. You can also pick them up at the front desk if you like a printed version. Can't guarantee that it's most up to date just because we are continually to add things. So make sure you're checking that out.
Then we have our coffee talks on Friday. Are any of these four wonderful ladies in here?
Susan's on the beach, she told me.
Well, she should be enjoying that. So coffee talks on Friday morning. So this is a different topic. Last Friday, we had Patrick in. He did disc assessments, super awesome stuff. It's a different topic is what they try and do. And it's laid back. Go learn something and have conversation. So thank you for all four of them for doing that. Friday.
Joanne, are you on?
Yep, I'm here.
Awesome.
So I just a couple reminders. Earnest is going well. Several of you have been using it. Just remember to request your money the same way that you have always been doing it. Nothing changes as far as getting the money back to the client. And if you're closing within 5 days of receiving your Earnest money check, please make sure you turn in a cashier's check or use the Earnest app, because we've got to hold those checks for 5 business days to make sure that they clear. And we can't always just issue you a refund or mutual release right away if a regular bank check is turned in, a personal check. Third thing, if the Earnest money deposit is going to go to someone other than the person that wrote the check, both parties must sign the written instructions that specify how the broker is to disperse the money. And Lori's going to be going over that in Broker Corner. She's got some verbiage for you to use. But just want to note, we've had people lately, coming in and saying, oh, can we just write it to the title company because the buyer is out of town? And there's some things that you might know ahead of time that you can make arrangements ahead of time rather than at the last minute. So Lori will be going over that in Broker's Corner. And then just another reminder, no copies of a check is allowed to be in your opportunity. This just opens us up for fraud potential, and we can't have a check, even with the routing number and account number blacked out. We can't have that in our opportunity. It helps us keep our E&O low and helps protect you and your clients. So that's That's all I have. Are there any questions?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, our favorite's up.
Okay, so it's been kind of quiet. I don't know if that's refreshing or not. I don't get the calls like I have 65 offers on my desk and what the heck am I gonna do? No, I don't get those calls anymore, right? Or have we all been like on vacation? What's happening? It's been kind of quiet. But I do get the calls about mutual releases. Is it necessary? Yes. That's the short answer. Okay. If there is no earnest money, it isn't required. But it is necessary. Does everybody understand the difference? Okay. Why? Why do we want to have a mutual release?
Liability.
Spoken like a true broker. Yeah, because it absolves us out of there too. And we always want to do that. If we have clients that are upset and they feel that they have been wronged, they have legal rights. And we can't force them, and we can never force anybody to sign a mutual release. Understanding though, that unless seller signs that, there will be no refund of earnest money. Everybody knows that, right? Pursuant to clause 12.3 and also my directives under the revised code. So that's going to lead me to talking about breach of contract in a second. But the new RPD, just for everybody's information, it is in both platforms, DocuSign.loop. It's there. The other one is gone. Okay, so the new one is there. Most of you are using it now. The things I'm seeing compliance were done before the document was in there, but anything currently since about the middle of July is coming in with the new stuff. So that's good. So back to breach of contract. The calls I'm getting now are we close next week and the buyer's bailing. Okay. 20% nationally of contracts are terminating with a huge percentage breach. Why is that happening?
The market changed, they overpaid. Fear.
Right, all of it. Okay. They feel they're overpaying in a shift. Okay. It's costing them more to buy gas and buy groceries. The interest rate is not 3%, in case you hadn't heard. Okay. And I'm being facetious, and we're going to talk a lot about this in Broker Corner, because it occurred to me last night that this may be my last shift to lead in my real estate career, because they occur like every 5 or 6 years.
Don't worry, she's not going anywhere
I'm
anytime
not going
soon.
anywhere. I'm going to take you through this shift if I die doing it. But it dawns on you that you've been through this before and you have everything to give, and I got to give it to you now. I have to, okay? So we really have to be in this together. We really do. Because we've been through some bad times, our industry, our country, and we will get through it. So we're going to talk a lot about that in upcoming days and many, many broker corners. But breach, what do you say to your clients? What are you supposed to say?
Please consult.
Yeah, you are not giving them legal advice. Everybody understand? Okay, say, I am not an attorney, but you are in breach, or you will be in breach once I send this termination over. We're going to, per your instructions, send the termination. What would you like me to check as the reason? Changed my mind, got scared. Mom and dad told me I'm paying too much. What is it that you want to say? See, these are difficult discussions, but you know what it is that I'm going to tell you to say, each and every one of you, depending on your knowledge, but if you just got licensed like last week, no, you don't know what to say. But you all know what to say. You don't need me to tell you, right? Okay, so let's know what we have to say. And when we say to them, we don't know what the seller's reaction will be. They have legal rights, and you can tell them what those are. They can keep earnest money or go after earnest money. They can sue for performance. They can sue for damages. What are damages? If I put my house back on the market and I sell for less, that's a damage. If I had to put my stuff in storage to accommodate your immediate possession, if I had to get interim housing, and my lawyer fees and utilities, and it goes on and on. Okay, that's what a seller can do. You learned that all in real estate school, or you should have. Okay, we don't tell people what to do. We tell them what can happen. Okay, that's our honesty. And when we hear from the other side that they're contacting a lawyer, we must make that conversation known to our buyer and advise them to do what? Get one too. Okay, so we're down with breach of contract. Let's try to reduce those by being better upfront. Okay, when we start seeing red flags, you know, they're not cooperating with the lender, dragging their feet, starting to go ghost on us, like a sign. Okay, that something's gonna happen. All right, delayed possession. The document, seller's occupancy after closing, is a mandatory document. 3 last week don't have that. And there's delayed possession. You know, I'm gonna cover us, guys.
Even if it's only 2 or 3 days.
Well, 2 days is different, but when we're talking about, you know, 30, 60 days here, and anything past a week, Sue, I think is really risky. You know, we had a tree fall down in the backyard. Whose responsibility is that? You shouldn't be making that call to me, asking me, because the document tells you whose it is. If you read it, really, absolutely mandatory document. Everybody got that? There's just,
Even on a few days, does it in?
I have people who do that on every deal past 24 hours possession.
But you just
I mean,
said even.
In the
week.
state of New York, that you would just be, I mean, you got to do that. And there's rent. Possession is at closing. It is the buyer's house at the day of closing. And everybody knows a seller's homeowner's insurance is canceled that day by the company. It is no longer in effect. They're no longer homeowners, the seller.
What if a buyer's agent doesn't send one? Can you generate one?
Absolutely, and these 3 came up. I thought that was only for the buyer's agent to do. Absolutely not. We have to protect our sellers too. That's got to come from you, listing agents, if it didn't come from the buyer who didn't know better, because their agent was incompetent.
So if you think of the listing, we should have that as a document saying. that
If
you're-
we know our seller's gonna have delayed possession, absolutely, Patrick. Load it in there. Yeah, why? Because it cites the revised code, it cites the law, it lays it all out. So no more hanky-panky on that stuff. All right, and today, another question?
Quick question, I was always told like 60 days is usually the max if there's a loan involved. Is there a max or?
There is conventional 60 days, really 59.
Okay, No?
FHA, VA, 13. Okay, otherwise it implies it's an investor loan.
Okay.
See, the implication is you're a landlord now. And that's not a regular interest rate. That's the reason. Okay, so Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, conventional, 60.
Thank you.
If you do anything other than that, it's mortgage fraud. What do we say about fraud?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's a felony.
No hanky
Felony, not misdemeanor. Okay, felony, F word. F words are usually not good. Fraud. felony. Okay, so today, building your skill set for the shift. Everything we're gonna talk about now. Bowling, broker corners, masterminds. We're gonna take you through the shift. For some of you, you weren't even here alive with us on this earth through most of the shifts I've been through. Some of you were teenagers when 2006 happened. So you have no clue because you were not reading the Financial Times.
And there's those of us that are almost.
Your parents might have been talking about it. But it made no difference to you as you were teeny bopping around the world. This is real world now. I want you off Instagram and into financial news. Got it? That's where we're going. See you in a few.
So why she's the best?
Oh, I'm still like. But
You're the best.
strongest, longest, oldest. Okay, so here we are, year to date, clawing to number 3. Now, what's interesting about this whole thing is we drop in dollar volume, but we're still ahead in units. So that tells me we may be selling some first-time buyer stuff or something. Something's happening because you'll see that in a minute. All right, so this is a year-to-date statistic. So we've closed, reported to MLS, we've closed 1,012 units, but we know we've closed more than that. So we need to report everything, okay? So now month of June. We slipped. We did. But now look at next slide. 218 is ahead of 183. Do you see that?
Yep.
Our units, but our dollar volume. So I got to tweak that. I got to look at that and see what's, but to me, market share is number of units. How many families did we impact? So I want you to use the statistics smartly. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Look at that. I mean, that's huge between here and here, right? Look at that. And only 487 units done by how many people?
Over 600.
Yeah. So we got to look at per agent productivity, the market share productivity, our numbers, and 218 and a half. I can't forget the half thing. So let's look at our numbers, and I have to delve into, okay, what did our volume go down? Were we selling some price ranges that, I don't know, I'm gonna delve into it, but our average price, see, is, and that's pretty standard for us. It's been climbing, but we know that Classic Properties in Arlington deals in a higher price point. Yeah, so they're doing well, and we applaud that. I like to see them come up. But when you look at, if you counted this, what would that look like? Pretty good. Okay? Am I good?
Thank you. And everyone knows about Capital Partners Cares, right? KW Cares. So we have our own. There's agents in this office who have used this. So make sure if you have the means, the extra money to contribute to this, that you do. There's 3 ways: automatic deductions, one-time donation, or you can donate by check. So if you have questions on that, let us know. We'll make sure your money gets to that. So. Telephone Consumer Protection Act, we have to make sure you guys are aware of this before you start making random phone calls. Check the do not call list. If you need more info, there's a website for it. Then also, you are paying your Ohio Realtors dues. So this is a service to you for paying those dues. If you have issues with technology, we all know we've had some internet issues here. Call this. Call this number and see if they can help you for free before you call Geek Squad or take it anywhere else. So you never know. They helped Jill with the TV. So it wasn't even work related, it was TV. So,
Literally anything with a plug.
yep,
It will.
they're
most
so
likely be
bored, they
helpful.
want to help you. Yeah.
And when Google did their like protection update as far as our scanners that went down, our lovely not IT people did not help us. They helped me fix that. I said, I'm calling on behalf of our broker and I need your help. And they literally like that had it fixed. So they are helpful.
Makes you wonder.
July 27th, limited leadership here. So we're all going to be at the mega agent panel. You should be there too, so it shouldn't matter. And again, we'll get a group, we'll try and get everyone seated, seating together. So that way we're all there supporting Suzanne too. So. And then our next office meeting is September 15th at 11 a.m. Note it's September because in August we have the 20th anniversary celebration. So make note of that. And then we have with us today the area director for Cutco Closing Gifts, Anne Marie, specializes in long-term branding, client retention, and generating referral-based business in real estate industry. She's here to share with us a few tips to keep us top of mind with our clients. Everyone, welcome Anne Marie.
Thanks, Josh. Awesome. Well, I know a lot of you guys know, I know a lot of you guys here. Like you said, my name's Hannah Marie Drown. I'm the area director for Cutco and 360 Business Growth. I've only got a couple minutes today. I want to, keep us on time, but I've got a lot of info to share and I have a tendency to talk fast. So just bear with me, enjoy the ride. We're gonna have some fun. We like to do some interaction. So first off, show of hands, who in here would like to learn a way to constantly keep your name in front of your clients and keep yourself top of mind? Raise your hand. Awesome. Who would like to get 1, 2, or even 300 plus marketing touches a year? That's subtle and not annoying and you're not overwhelming your clients with calls, emails, text messages. That should be everybody's hand. Well, you actually have the opportunity to do that with your closing gifts. So I'm sure most of you give a gift when you close, and who doesn't like free stuff, right? If it's free, it's for me. So what are some common things given in the real estate industry? Go ahead and shout them out.
Flowers.
Wine, flowers, what else?
Cutting board.
Cutting boards, gift cards is a big one. So a lot of them, gift cards, wines, bottles of wine, dinner out, alcohol. Those are consumables, right? So we found 90% of gifts that are given are consumables. So it's here today and it's gone tomorrow. So I want you to think about this. Think back to 2019, so pre-COVID, that year. What did you get? Just think about this in your head for your birthday, Christmas, or a holiday that you celebrate back in 2019. It's only 3 years ago. Can you think of what that gift was? Who gave you that gift? And where is that gift now? And that's gifts from your significant other, a family member, a best friend, right? So just like you like giving gifts, they're forgotten, right? They're here today and they're gone tomorrow. So when you give gifts, you want to have 3 things. And Gary Keller talks about 2 of these things in one of his books. I can't remember off of the top of my head which one it was, but usefulness and longevity and top of mind awareness. So you want your gifts to have usefulness, longevity, and top of mind awareness. We want something that our clients are going to be using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week. And then something that's going to last 10, 15, 20 years from now. Think about the impact that that gift's going to have 10, 15, 20 years from now. So we've got a solution for you. First off, according to the NAR, which room in the house gets used the most? It's the kitchen, exactly. I love it when they get the right answers. So it's definitely the kitchen. So go ahead and raise your hand if you've heard of Cutco before. I love to see it. That's my favorite. It's my favorite when people raise their hand and they've heard of Cutco. So Cutco are like the Rolex or Rolls Royce. We're most comparable to Snap-on tools, but of kitchen knives and accessories. We've been around since the 40s. We're American made. We're guaranteed forever. But what makes us so unique is we engrave our products with your logo, name, and info, just like this. And I'm not going to pass this around right now. I also have some displays in the back so you can check those out. But we just engrave it with your logo, name, and phone number. And it's like a magic business card. It's if you just popped another business card in your client's hand 1, 2, or 300 times in a year. Think about it. How often are you using a knife? Almost every single day. And let's be real, your clients aren't sitting around their dinner table talking about their real estate agent as much as we would like them to. They're not talking about their lender. They're not talking about their gifting gal. It's just not happening. So we change that. And we're becoming that conversation piece because you can't be at every holiday, every barbecue for your clients, but Cutco can. And the proper gifts can. NAR also states that out of the 85 to 95% of people who love their agent would absolutely use them again, only 10 to 12% of people can actually name their realtor within 2 years of the buy or sell of their home. Pretty crazy, right? So one of the other things is because it's branded, our gifts are now 100% tax deductible as marketing and advertising. Who doesn't like free money, right? We love extra money. Our gifts, they range anywhere from $80 to $300, which is what most agents they're already spending. So we're just taking money, we're reallocating it and spending it more efficiently. And the last thing is we get a system in place for you. I know agents, they love systems. So with a quick Zoom call and a couple phone calls a year, we get all of your gifts taken care of. Whether that's you're an individual agent and it's 10 transactions, or you're a team and you do 100 transactions, we take care of them all. Just through a couple of simple, quick phone calls. We typically get you either a half year, full year supply of gifts. We ship everything to you up front so you have them on hand, they're ready to go, and then you just grab and go on closing day. And you're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off trying to figure out what to get your clients. So that's all the time I want to take right now. As you guys can see, there's a QR code right here. So go ahead and get out your phones. I'm also going to pass these around. You can get entered into a Cutco giveaway. So I do a monthly drawing at the end of the month. So if you want to get entered into the drawing, just go ahead and scan that with your cell phone, fill out the form. And then for those of you that are interested in gifting, just check yes. If you're interested in promotional products, just check yes on that Google form. I'll be in the back for a little bit. But thank you guys so much and have a super sharp rest of your day.
You did talk super fast. 2, she also provided food for everyone. So make sure you go grab some grub and then come back for Broker Corner. So thank you, Anne Marie.
I wait till. Pam, you always wait till. Family whole bath.
How are you doing?
It's so hard when it's a pet, so I'm trying to figure out how to. Everybody writing. Thank you, I appreciate it. Welcome back. That's the one downfall.
That's where I was moving. John Boyd. Yep. Okay. You're keeping the trend. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, we're done. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have like basically Thursdays. Yeah. And then after that.
It is what it is.
Okay, gotcha. Is there like, there's no.
Yeah, no.
I don't like it. I mean. Yeah. He was supposed to like go through all more concepts, like start A and try to get yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. Yeah. Yes, fear. Other classes, just like How's it going, man? Good to see you again. Yeah, nice to see you. Enjoying stuff watching and. Oh, yeah, you're full. Priorities. Yeah, no, it's going good so far. I mean, this is my first full time week I'm considering, so try not to be too hard on myself. I didn't do anything until I got.
That's right.
I didn't do anything until I got. I was. Stuff like that.
We just signed up for that.
What were you doing
You'd be
before?
proud of us.
I was a project manager for a custom home builder. I'm still doing that.
Okay.
I work with different companies, like 20 hours a week there. Rest of the week. Yeah. I like it too much. I like look it up. So I'm like, I want to work so bad.
I've never seen you. Really, just literally just feel like else, including my dad. Hey. Don't do that. But there's also stories of guys.
Oh, you like it? It's an old one.
So I can't use that clock, obviously. So we need a new battery in that car. Because I usually look at it. Huh? I feel so inclined. You can do it. All right.
Just kind of did a sign up, take a certification. Yep, then we did like a raffle. And so, exactly. So we got like 82.
Okay, y'all. I promised Joanne, first thing I talk about, the earnest money. So clause, hello? Hello? Woo. Well, 3 of the contract gives you some choices of where the earnest money is to go for closing, right? So I need you to address that in the contract. If you know when you're writing the deal that the people are going to need the funds to be at the title company, the fastest way to get it there is to send it there first. But if you want it directed from our trust account to the title company, then I need that to be in the contract saying pursuant to 12.3, the buyer directs the earnest money to be payable to the title company closing the transaction at closing, okay? It's very simple language. I know some of you will still need me to write that out. I will do that, but it's on the recording now. Everybody heard it. And your fiduciary duty is, if you can't be here, is to listen to my recording every single month. That is your fiduciary responsibility. So that's what we need you to do, is to tell us what to do, because Joanne is getting bombarded. There's at least one a day where now the buyer isn't coming, and we need then an email to make our trust account balance of where to go. Many of you knew that up front, or should have, if you'd asked the question. Okay. So if we're gonna need those funds over there as part of the closing transaction, then we need you to direct it, and you will simply make that statement. Everybody good? Okay. All right, so back to what we need to talk about. And it was quite a sobering thought that went through my mind last night, that this may be the last time that I talk about a shift. In fact, that's pretty well certain. Unless we go into a 5-year recession, which I hope.
I thought you were going to you were 90.
80
I heard 90.
80 is what I promised, if the good Lord gives it to me. And it is all dependent on him or her.
Thank you.
Just maybe. I don't know. But it certainly will be out of my control. So I put some things up there that some of you in this room have never even heard of. Nor did you ever think when you were 18 years old, you'd want to discuss it. Like, who had high on their list the Federal Reserve? Right? And what is it? And what the heck is it? Most of you think it's part of the government. Who thinks that? Because the word federal's in it. So you think that. They're doing a bad job in schools, let me just share. They aren't preparing anyone for economics, that's for sure. Let alone balancing a checkbook, and people say, what the heck is that? Most millennials don't have that. As my daughter said to me, and she's 49 years old, way back when, just write a check. I said, you know, you have to have money behind that. Oh. Huh. Now it's just use the debit card. Yeah, no, you have to have money in there, right? Okay. So here we are. So the Federal Reserve is not a government body. It is a quasi-governmental body in charge of regulating the flow of money. Everybody got that?
Yes.
Okay. So is money hard to get, or is money easy to get? That's called what? The interest rate. Okay. When our federal government borrows money, at the same time we want to borrow money, what do you suppose that does to rates? Mhm. And every October, they do that. The federal government borrows money. Because we're not really solvent. We have debt. Okay, I know this may be a surprise to some of you. Not really. You have to be living under a rock. But I am serious about, we got to get off Instagram and Facebook, and we've got to get with the Wall Street Journal, the Financial Times, the Economist, Bloomberg News, whatever. We've got to. It's not USA Today. Okay, that is fluff. That is not good financial information. You are in the financial advice business. You didn't think so. But in a shift, in a recession, you more than anybody are on the street dealing with most people's biggest asset, correct?
Right.
Right. And we're in the business of protecting that asset. We're not in the home and garden show. I tell you that all the time. If you thought that, please leave. You're going to be very stressed out now. Okay? If it wasn't stressful enough to have written offers that don't get accepted, now you have to dig deep. So we're going to be talking about stuff. We're going to be talking about using correct terminology. And so we've talked about what the Fed is. The federal cost of funds, which the Federal Reserve oversees, is what the member banks must pay the Federal Reserve to borrow money.
Right.
They're not sitting on piles of cash. They borrow it from who? Okay. This is Econ 101. I'm sorry, for some of you, this is very, very basic, and I apologize. But I have to go there. There, okay. It's also the rate in which a member bank can borrow money from another member bank. And that goes on. That is what we're talking about when we talk about when the Fed meets and raises the rate. That is the rate we're talking about. The rate which they'll loan money or the banks loan each other. Everybody got that? That now will translate into the consumer lending piece, which is credit cards, cars, what else? Okay. So if the member banks have to pay more money to loan out, what do you suppose is going to happen? That was your Econ 101. For some of you, I know you needed that. That's okay. But we have consumers out there who need you to know. Okay, they need you to know. Now I want you to get very close and personal with your lenders. Now, you're going to sift out who knows and who has just been fooling around in an easy market. You know, one thing you can always count on from me. Straight talk. I have forgotten more than most of them will ever know. And that's true. And most of us in this room who've been around. The layoffs are beginning in their industry. What does that tell you?
Fewer loan originations.
And only the good
Survive.
will survive. Ladies and gentlemen, please ensure you're working with the good. Who know how to explain things in language that a consumer can understand. We're making an assumption that they understand it, but I would not make that assumption. You really need good lender partners now. Okay, who knows what the interest rate is today, right here when we speak? Did anybody check that first thing this morning? You gotta start doing that. And the interest rate is?
It's 6.625.
No.
No. What? It was this morning.
Like,
So like.
she's a lender.
So like.
She's saying it's 6 5/8. That's what 6.625 is.
Yeah.
You're talking Fed funds rate?
No, I'm talking the mortgage interest rate.
On a fixed year 30,
Fixed year 30, conventional.
7.
FHA is 5.99.
All right, I want to know why everyone here couldn't tell me that.
It moves hourly.
Well, I know, but did you check it first thing this morning? No, because you haven't had to do that. Now you do. Okay. First thing in the morning, you check what's happening.
What's the best way to do that?
Have
your lender send you
favorite lender.
Yeah.
A good one, good lender should have you on an email every morning. Okay,
At 11:41.
6.5,
No, 5.375 from this lender at 11:41 this morning.
30 year.
Yes,
Okay, so we're getting all kinds of,
all different things.
all different things. Now, I'm gonna suggest to you that anybody that's getting under 6 has over an 800 credit score.
That's something most people do not. Right.
They do not understand. Your credit score determines your rate.
Not only just your rate.
Not only. Okay. And another thing that should have happened when it was down at 3 is people should have been taking 15-year loans instead of 30. And what you need to tell all of your buyers at the closing is about this gift they can give to themselves by making one extra mortgage payment a year on their birthday, at Christmas, whatever holiday they cherish, which goes to principal and reduces a 30 to 22 years. One extra payment. Now, those of you who are new, was that valuable to know?
Yes.
To tell your people? Every single one of my buyers on their newsletter, on their anniversary, I would say to them, did you give yourself the gift? I want you to do that. Everything I'm going to talk to you about is protecting wealth, protecting your equity. What is equity? The difference between the market value and what you owe. Okay? That's equity. People think they have a lot of equity. It's shrinking. Also want to talk to you about borrowing on equity. That's now getting stricter. Equity loans to pay cash for property. We had 2 turndowns because when they first talked to their lender about getting an equity line, they were going to get X and now they're only going to get Y. And the deal's not going to go. Okay, are we ready? What kinds of things are going through your mind? What do you have to know? You have got to know the financial piece. In our day, as new realtors, we did the qualifying of a buyer.
Yep.
Having that knowledge in my head made me a better realtor. I didn't have to rely on a lender to qualify somebody. I did the closing statements because before title companies were in the pictures, we realtors had to do the settlement statements. The broker or the manager. I did them on the last day of the business month. I'd be in my office till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, getting my realtor. I did the closing statement for all my realtors, for all their closings. So I want to talk to you about knowing how to do a net sheet. It is your fiduciary responsibility to provide a net sheet to each and every seller. You can lose your license for not doing that. Many of you, most of you rely on your title people to do it. But when you go with those offers, you better be going with a net sheet. Fiduciary responsibility, okay? We got to get back now, get a hold of our business, every aspect of our business that we've relied on all these other people to do for us. We have to have a handle on it. And I'm not telling you not to have somebody else do it. You just better know what it says. And you better know how to do it if you had to do it. I knew when I went into a seller's house, I could say to them, in a normal transaction, the commission is 6%, and your costs are going to be anywhere from an additional 2 to 3. So right off the top, take off 8 or 9% plus your mortgage, and you're there. And I'd be within $100. We were that good. You're gonna be that good. You need to be that good. When my sellers netted within $100 of what I told them they were gonna net, do you think they looked at me and said, right on, sister? You cannot let go of any aspect of the transaction. Did everybody hear what I said? You cannot trust anybody but who? This is hard. Did I promise you this was easy? I think in Quick Start, for most of you who had me day one, some had me at new member orientation at Columbus Realtors and started getting sick. That was Coretta, that was Jeff Mahler, that was Sean Simpson, and a whole bunch of host of others. Because I tell you the truth. Because don't you have to hit? Do you need smoke and mirrors? See, what we're getting now from NAR and is to help us stay positive. But we got to cut through that and look at what real numbers are telling us. 5 straight months, sales down. That's reality. The only thing that's saving us is an elevated price. Will that go on forever? No. How far it goes, we know not, and that will depend on this and our wages are not going up enough to cover the gap, are they?
Nope.
No. What's worse is when I see listings coming in at less than 6%. You covering your expenses? Isn't gas costing more for you too? And food? Yeah. What are we doing? So the first thing I want to talk to you about is who's looked at their business plan from the last November? Who's revised it? Redid the numbers. Okay, we got to do that now. We got to do that. Everything's in flux, right? Does anything stay the same? Well, death happens and taxes. Okay. They don't stay the same. Hell no. But we're, in this mindset, like I have to reduce to get my list. No. We're not believing in our value. Everything I say to you is to add value to you. Right? Anything I've ever said to you was only for what? To make you the real estate authority. That comes from knowing the big picture and knowing the words. The words we use. We are people's financial advisors. We are. So they're going to say to you, Lynn, what's happening? Because they can read and they hear. So we have to say, well, yeah, our sales are down. The market is shifting. But one thing we do know, people will still need to buy and sell. They will be better motivated. It's always nice to work with better motivated people. People like, oh, well, if I get my price, Forget those people. You know? I'm getting a divorce, I gotta sell. That's motivation. I'm coming here and I have 3 children and we cannot go in an apartment with 2 dogs and 3 kids. I gotta buy a house. Okay? Or I am a first-time buyer and it's a little bit exciting right now if we have the proper partners and we get them qualified. And who here has gone to an affordable housing meeting at Columbus Realtors? And you should. Was it valuable brief for the market to learn what's out there in the way of loans
Yes.
in targeted areas? Community loans, 0 down. Who knows about those programs? I know Bree does. Because she's put them to use. And when I said to her, go to affordable housing, she went there. And Jill and I tell you each and every month, new realtors. Now my veterans, I'm speaking to you now. Some of you haven't had to dust up the toolkit in a long time. Right? So what did we have to do when we were brand new realtors and we didn't have the internet? Hustle. Mhm. And yes, every morning at 8 o'clock, we did know what the interest rate was. We did. Because we had to qualify the people. We had a program on our calculator. Calculator, not phone. We had a program. We had an amortization charge in our wallet, didn't we, Jill? We did. Honest to God. And it went up to 20%. And we did the slide rule across and we figured out what the payment, we knew what our people's payment was gonna be. We didn't need a lender, sorry lenders. But we knew what it was gonna be. How many of you have gone to umpteen closings in the last 3 years and you have no clue what your people's payment is? No clue. You didn't even know till you looked at the closing statement and saw how much they were putting down, did you? Come on. No. Be honest. We cannot abdicate that piece now. Everybody hear me? We're gonna bring the people in. Just had a lender, Tyler Gibbs, with Fairmay Mortgage, hosted our little gathering last night. He's gonna come in and he's gonna sit with you and do an actual loan app. If you want that. New agents, you better be signing up. And you're gonna hear what they say and how they qualify, because I want you to be able to do it too. I want you to, who knows what the debt to income ratio is, besides our lenders? You should know, and the old timers in the room who know. What is the debt to income ratio requirement on a conventional loan? 2836. That means the house payment, PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, can never be more than 28% of your gross monthly income. All of you need to know that. But some of you, has anybody even asked their clients what we send them right to a lender. We don't know what they make. In the old days, we did. I'm not saying you have to go there. I'm saying you need to know stuff and you need to get with a lender. Okay, there's a big difference between a 6% interest rate payment and 3%. Mary.
I just had a client in yesterday who had already purchased a home once, right? Nobody ever sat down, who didn't understand it. I went through, this is how you're gonna be disqualified, 28%
Had no clue.
for housing, 36% for total debt load. He's like, wow, I had no idea.
No.
Because he was talking about buying a truck, and I said, well, I've got my list of things you really can't do right
Do not
now.
buy that truck.
But I said, now if it falls in that gap and you have no other debt, you might be okay, but you do need to raise this with the mortgage person when you speak with them. That's why it's important, everybody to understand this, because they don't know it otherwise.
Right. And wouldn't it be nice if you in your buyer consultation threw those numbers at them so they're prepared to go to a lender? Wouldn't that be good?
Well, an educated buyer is better than.
They have
an
power.
uneducated one.
Exactly. But that's conversely, the knowledge is power for who? You need to know that. So what are the ratios for government loans? 29 and 41. What is the down payment requirement for FHA today? 3.5%. When I started, it was a sliding scale. Remember that? It was 3% on the first 75,000 and then it was graduated on amounts over that. We had to like figure stuff out on a calculator. People, we need to go there. It's gotten me through about 5 recessions. We need to go there. We need to know. If we have people with thin down payments, there are loans. If they qualify. What do we know about the hero programs? Who are the heroes?
Teachers.
EMTs. Mhm. We gotta dust some stuff off and get it together. The more we know to counsel our people, the more power they have, the more power you have. You will still be standing as I am leaning, but still standing. We can do it. So start reading financial news, however boring you think that is. I don't come in here till I've read the Wall Street Journal. Do not come in here to tackle you guys. So I know what to say. And I get varied opinions. I mean, because they have columnists of different persuasions and get the whole picture. So I have something to say to you. You have got to answer those questions. Like, Lynn, what the heck is going on, right?
Right. And I think you've been talking a lot about buyers, but I think on the seller side, you really need to be looking every day because it is changing so quickly.
It is.
And convincing your sellers, if they haven't sold in 5 days, that, you know, what we looked at in the 1st of June is
Right.
very different than what we're looking at the 3rd week in July.
So here's a new thought. Back in the day, we didn't deal with days or hours. We dealt with months. So every 30 days in my brokerage, it was mandatory that you took out a new CMA to your seller. Now, gang, 14 days. I want you to reevaluate the market and give them in writing your 2-day price. Today, here's what it is. So good point. Can't forget the sellers here. They think, well, my friend sold for $100,000 last summer. Forget that.
Yep. I think that's the.
As they
hardest
say,
step.
forget about it.
Yep.
You gotta get over that.
Especially if they bought something before they
Yeah.
sold, now you really got to talk.
Now, what my biggest fear has been over the last 3 years are the people who truly leveraged everything, including mom and dad's retirement. who have been waiting to refinance. What a mistake that was. Like the people who paid cash 6 months ago. Yeah. However, there's never been a better time than today, as Dave Ramsey would tell you. Because the prices are not going to crash. And you do, if the rates went really low, what can you do? Refinance. So if we have people now who need to buy, or who can buy, because they have good credit, they have stable income, then we need to get them in, and that may be FHA or whatever. But if we don't know what's out there, because we've been kind of spoiled, not kind of, very, you know. But this lender piece is huge to me. It always has been huge to me, and it is not something we can let go of.
Well, I think that we had our lender in the other day and he was reminding us, you know, talk to them about other products like 10-1 arms or, you know, that.
Right.
And knowing what
Some
does
of
that
you
mean?
never, you hear the word adjustable and you go into fright mode. Do you know, I had an adjustable myself. We never lost money.
Yeah.
We never
We
did.
did a 1-year adjustable.
We had a 1 in 5
Yeah.
arm, and
Because it was
we were
16%.
still ahead of that
Yeah.
year's interest rate every single time. A 10-year arm right now is a good product. Who thinks their buyer's gonna be there longer than 10 years? And then if they think they are, they can refinance when the rates go down.
I just have a client in 5.5.
I'm happy to hear that. All right, so the lender piece is huge now. We gotta go to basics, right? As they say in the mafia, we're going to the mattress. I'm from New York, baby. We're going to the mattress. New people, you're gonna be tough faster. That's the good news. Tough. Tough, tough, tough. Tough talk, honest talk. What else do we want to talk about? You must use terms like the market speaks to us. That's how we begin the conversation for the price reduction. The market has spoken. We don't have an offer. That is the market. It's easier than saying your house is a dog. No. The market has spoken.
Lori, and I think too, as we get deeper into this and time goes by a little bit, our days on market expectations will go back to
Normal times.
normal times. And what that used to be, truly, I mean, and a lot of us in the room know it, for years and years and years, 60 days.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was the
and to
average time
close,
on
it
the
would
market.
be 87 days.
Right. And it may not go that long now, since there will always be a shortage of housing in Columbus. But
Mhm.
going back to 40 days perhaps, or whatever,
Right.
will be normal.
Mhm.
You know, and we'll have to make sure our clients realize that.
Right.
I think the other thing you must consider too when you're on a listing appointment is that the sold data is a serious lagging indicator. right
Correct.
now.
Right, right.
And
Mhm.
we've been so conditioned to focus on sold prices, and I'm not saying you don't incorporate it, naturally you will,
Mhm.
but you must.
You gotta
focus
temper
on
that
the
sales
competition,
price.
On the competition, who else is out there?
Right. So now I want you to start delving into numbers too. And I want you to look at the sold data and see the percentage change and really look at it. So say the seller is getting the asking price. We consider that a 100%. Anything over asking price is a percentage up. Guys, we considered ourselves superior realtors if we got our sellers 97%.
7%.
That was our benchmark.
It was.
97, all of our net sheets we took out was at 97%. It was a train wreck. We never programmed them to get the asking price.
Ever.
Ever. If I saw somebody take a net sheet out at the asking price, I ripped it up. Like, what are you thinking? They're programmed. It's time to what? Reprogram. Who can do that? Only you. You're on the street for me now. You have to reprogram. Reprogram your brain, reprogram the seller's expectations. Good point. Days on the market is an indicator. How long did it take? And we got to start looking at these numbers now, because now we're going to go into a third quarter, or go very shortly the start of the fourth quarter. We're in third quarter. And we're going to start seeing, I think, some dramatic numbers. Now, I can see that coming. I don't see much escalation clauses out there. What are we doing that for? Really? Not necessary.
I'm not worried when I'm doing comparables anymore too. When I go and see it's been a cash deal, it wasn't appraised.
It wasn't. And that's, see, reading behind the numbers, that's
Yeah,
important.
That's, I think.
Cash. I guarantee these cash people paid too much,
Yeah.
too much. And a lot of it was mom and dad's money. They paid too much. And I started to say, my biggest fear is what happens next year when there's a divorce or a job change, or God forbid, a serious illness.
It's so hard right now to manage seller expectations on a CMA when you're dealing with this wonderful data from less than 90 days ago that's still pretty good, but it's not.
I know, but now our CMAs have to be 30 days. I think it's to us 30 days. 30 days, not 90.
Lori, do you think you're gonna start seeing short sales pop up again?
I do think that will begin in probably 2024, big time.
I saw one in Mark yesterday.
I think
so.
I think so. There are people who have to sell and they won't be able to pay off their mortgage. That will happen again.
Just like this, it's gonna happen, the builders will start to need us again.
So the
because there's been a
builders-
lot of conversations about that.
Yeah, they'll need us again. Well, those that are still standing. Their contracts are way down.
Oh, by the way, MI is going back to 3%.
Yes. Well, isn't that special? Here it is.
No, we do.
Ryan Homes, what the heck are they doing? $1,500. Are they kidding me? 500 for Sarah Miller, yeah, on a deal that was under 300, 500 was her commission. That's, but, you know, that's exactly,
Sorry.
that's ridiculous. We had the buyer. We control what builder we can tell them is bad or good.
Sorry, I was in a conversation with some agents this morning that were talking about some of these big investors that had contracts on properties, all of a sudden withdrawn a lot of those. offers.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of back on the markets because of it. That's an interesting little twist.
Well, if the corporations that were buying for rental
Yeah.
see the pushback in price.
Yeah.
That should have been your clue.
They're not getting their rent. They're not getting any rent.
I've seen two people call me and said they made us an offer, but then they withdrew it. Because they're looking at the stuff, Missy, to answer your point, they're not looking at 90 days. They're looking at now. And so we have to say to our sellers, okay, here's what we're going to need to do. We're going to get into reality-based thinking, and I need to give you the state of the market today, 12:59. Okay, that's what we have to do.
Well, I think the other thing you need to be looking at is that, because I find this so interesting, what's new? What's price change? What's back on the market? All of a sudden you're seeing, for a while you saw 6, now you're seeing 144 price changes, 76 back on the market.
So
That
who-
tells you a ton.
So is everybody looking at Hot Sheet every morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so we really, with our morning coffee, we gotta get the interest rate down, we gotta get the financial news down, we gotta look at Hot Sheet in MLS, and we gotta deep dive till we look at that and say, I need to know more about that, but that should tell 100 and some odd back on the market. Seriously. So this is where we're going in ensuing months. I'm with you. I'm here. But we gotta get tough. We gotta get tough because the good will survive. They always do. They always do, because the home buying and selling is not going away. This is the United States of America, last time I checked. Okay? And it's an asset, an appreciating asset. Maybe not 1 year to the next year, but over the long term, it is an appreciating asset, and it always will be, as long as we stay capitalist. Yes, it is. But we gotta hang on to that. Questions, thoughts?
What do you tell a buyer today as far as?
It's
What
still,
they're gonna
it's an
offer.
asset that they need to acquire.
Right.
To promise that, see, this is a fallacy. They're gonna think everything will crash and the prices will be lower next year. There's no promise of that.
What they said this morning was, they don't expect there to be much of a movement down, they just don't expect the movement up to be nearly what we've seen.
It will not
That's what-
be,
that's
we
what
will
they-
not see a 13% increase in price or 20 or 30 that we experienced, no. But in Ohio, we were always at, what was our average appreciation per year over time? What was it?
3%.
3 to 4. Steady as you go. That's been our number for years and years and years before these last 3 years, which has skewed everything. So we have to get into reality-based thinking. So I had to come to you with basic econ, so we understand the process. We understand redoing our business plan, looking at, okay, I hadn't really thought about this part of my plan. I need to get sharper on some loans, those of you working with buyers. My listing people, I love you because I love listings. They're the lifeblood of our business. You need to get sharper on looking at that data daily. 160 some odd price reductions tells us we have something now in week 2. What do we got to do? New CMAs. We're gonna over-inform our clients. They're gonna say, oh my God, it's another email from Brent. Or another text. But yes, there's going to be another text or email from Brent. Got it? Are you with me? We're gonna do it. Questions from the peanut gallery? Anybody? Huh, I hear a yay. I think that was for the parking.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Okay, that was a while. Have you been monitoring, Joe?
Yeah, there has been.
Okay,
Lori,
yeah,
you know, Columbus Rovers annual meeting, they put this chart that shows price increases, changes in Columbus MLS since like the 50s.
Mhm.
And there's like 2 years of prices. We had to get that chart. So when these buyers, I had a guy say to me, these prices in Worthing are gonna drop 10%. I wanted to ask what he was smoking, but I just knew he was an idiot. Didn't deal with it.
well, but it will drop in certain parts of our country.
Right, but not
Understand,
Worthing.
right? Understand that we will have parts of our country in severe depression, which affects
Absolutely.
all of us as a country. So when you look at national stuff, you have to localize. We do have good employment. We are not dependent on blue collar, which other areas are, and they suffer when manufacturing is gone from us. This is hard. When I tell you to look, you gotta look at everything. There will be people who need to come here for work because there is no work where they're coming from. Is that true? Yes. Okay. Then we have Intel coming and they said, we like the favorable tax base here. You have the land at an affordable price for us. To us, it looks like gazillion bucks, not to a big corporation. But we don't have housing for those people. So if money gets tight, where's that housing gonna come from? Has anybody driven out there lately? To see where they are in the process? They're in prep mode out there. They're prepping the land. But I'll feel really good when I see something get founded in the ground.
Yeah.
The commercial money, you know, they're all looking at, we got, the commercial people are looking, we gotta build some apartments out there. We do. And there will be a huge influx in renting. So we gotta have that in our toolbox. Yes, you can make a commission on a rental. At least 1 month's rent, if not 2. You heard it here. This is your time.
Mhm.
You
No,
gotta
you
go for it.
don't. They're all $250.
We're not going there. We
It's-
gotta define worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta set the standard. Questions, thoughts? Are we good? Melanie?
So you're gonna start bringing in some people to do training?
We're gonna start, yeah, everything we do is gonna be geared to this. Some masterminds, our ALC directed us on topics, pricing strategies, because how I price is different than how Lynn may price and how we look at the numbers. And so we're gonna have a divergent panel on pricing and things you didn't even think about. But as Mary pointed out, looking at it daily and looking at 90 days isn't helping us now.
Yeah.
Because the picture has changed dramatically. Okay, so pricing strategies, scripts, sphere. What are we doing in our info, in our newsletters to our sphere? Letting them know we're alive and well, and the market continues. Making our sphere aware of market conditions. So everything is gonna be geared to what's happening. We have to do that. That's our pledge to you. We have to do that. I have to do that. Marcia.
We heard of the Fed rate in the 75. That's not the same as the mortgage rate.
That's what I tried to explain to you. Okay. So the Fed rate.
That sounds right.
I mean, I
The Fed funds
understand
rate.
that, but I just.
It will translate into an increase in the mortgage rate, because the Fed rate is what they will charge the member banks to borrow money so they can loan it to you and me and everybody. Okay, that's the difference.
Right, but when it raised a few months ago, like 7.75.
It was just in June.
Yeah, the loans didn't necessarily go up right then in that same amount.
No, it doesn't go up the same
The
amount.
same
to the
amount.
Fed.
It goes up. Is there
It is
percentage of
different.
it?
No, it
Because
can always be
each
different.
bank has what they consider a margin. Now I'm really going to a realm that I'm gonna lose some of you. But there's a margin based on what it costs us to borrow money and what we're gonna loan it to you for, that we have to meet. We would call that profit. Okay?
Or vigorous, since they're lenders.
They're lenders. Who don't always speak how we'd like them to speak. Okay? So There's a difference.
Yeah, I know, and I
Yeah,
didn't know.
so we're gonna have another in July, like Monday, I think it is 25th or 26th, the Fed meets again. The debate now is whether it's gonna be 0.75 or 1 full point.
But I've had clients that have said, oh my gosh, I heard it just went up in a point.
See, they don't understand that
That's another-
what we're talking, that's why I want you to know how to explain it to them.
So what you probably wanna do is, like, you probably wanna tap into whoever your lender is, and then that's what you're talking about, basically just at the beginning of the day, you're about to have a virus consultation, just like what's.
So you know what's what.
You know, just like, so it's not, you don't have to.
Right.
Some of the.
And there is a
lenders, like
difference.
Lynn said, they change certain times of day.
They can.
Well, they can
Yeah,
because
they
the margins change. The profit margin that the bank expects changes hourly.
And so as lenders, we get a text every time the market changes, right? So it's like MBS highway, so you get a text every time. So basically all you gotta do is just tell your lender, hey, like when you get the market change, you shoot me a text, blah, 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 if you just wanna be included like that. And then they'll shoot.
So if we have some buyers with some cash, why couldn't we say to our lender, can my buyers use some of their cash to buy the interest rate down? That's called a discount point. We're gonna resurrect that. So if they qualify at 4.5, where that's their comfort interest rate, how much cash is that instead of gap coverage? Paying too much for the house. Let mom and dad give them the money to buy the rate down. How about that? These are things I'm gonna start to talk to you about.
How many points for an interest rate? Used to be 6 points, but it had, who knows now?
And it's a percentage of the mortgage amount. So if we're borrowing $100,000, 1 point is how much money? $1,000. Okay. We have a little extra cash. Let's get a good rate. How about that? Peace.
Thank you.
So actually.